Hola, my lovers. It's MJ from Ultra Love and Ultra Love TV. Welcome to my channel. How are you? Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate your love and support, your readings, your purchases. I have a book, merchandise, some online courses, and I offer these intuitive tarot readings as well as online coaching for all y'all endeavoring your spiritual awakening and transformational journey. We're living in incredibly potent mass awakening time, so you know, it's one of those sort of realizations, like this whole awakening and all of the spirituality and all the stuff that so much has been sort of denied and ridiculed. It's that kind of, oh shit, you know, that maybe those people had had something to what they were doing, right? So I you know, a lot of kind of ego deaths and ultimately shape-shifting our reality as we know it. So I'm going to just do a quick run through of the week ahead for the 13 zodiac signs. I do the 13th sign of Fucus, operating in the sort of fifth dimensional construct, and the 13th moon cycle, which is a more balanced construct, including our own divine feminine, the part of us that knows how to love ourselves and nurture ourselves. So I'm going to start this weekly tarot with Aries and move through the 13 signs. It's not traditional tarot, my lovers. It's intuitive tarot. So bearing in mind it might not look, you might get different messages, especially if I like tell you what cards, you might well get like a different message. So please, you know, listen to yourself, trust yourself, and like anything, any information you're consuming or exchanging, just be mindful of how it makes you feel. If it feels aligned, if it feels resonant, then that's good to go. If it doesn't, then more than likely it's like leave it behind. So I usually for these weekly readings pick 3 to 4 cards per sign, and then just go from there and see what, if I'm guided to more cards. So this is the anyone who resonates with Aries, it's always my intention to offer you divine guidance and loving clarity. I do like to occasionally do these live, do monthly tarot, whatever sign is coming into the birthday season, I'll do that sign live, and then I'll endeavor to do the moon updates and probably a monthly energy update as well. You guys know the flow, it's super intuitive, so I make changes as and when I'm guided to. Yeah. Okie dokie, so let's just see what's coming through here for Aries. Aries, I feel like you're really focusing on your pentacle. You're possibly like budgeting. Yeah, I feel like you're really nurturing yourself. You're sort of, which is not typical for Aries, but it looks like you're sort of putting your fiery go-getter nature to the side for now. Because I'm getting this feeling that there's a King of Wands and a Queen of Pentacles, and I'm getting this feeling that this is you. This is your energy dynamic representative, and that you're not fully embodying your masculine energy right now in lieu of actually focusing on your maternal side, on your nurturing side. Because I feel like for some of you, you're having to bring more of that nurturing side out to make more money or bring more pentacle in. Now, with regard to a potential shortage of the finances, there's a bit of conflict here. I feel like if you're working with other people, like a creative project of sorts, there's conflict. There's differences of opinions, that kind of energy, right? Okay, Okay, so there's definitely some message around, so for some of you, Empress in reverse over here is sort of this sort of dominant energy. And it could be connected to the conflict, like the conflict at work. You know, this is weird. I'm getting for some of you, I get a sense that some of you are maybe in a bit of a sticky work situation. And your boss is not in the upright. So your boss, if your boss exemplifies or presents themselves as an empress, over here they're in the reverse, which is making me think, I feel like there could be a managerial or boss role, more than likely a female, who creates conflict in your working life. And I think because it's, yeah, I think that's why you're focusing on your pentacle, because there's part of you that's maybe wanting to leave a job because the boss is not very nice to you. Okay. And then I just pulled the courage card. So, yeah. Ooh, interesting. And that's a double 8 as well. That's significant for you. So if this is resonating for some of you, straight up, the Osho cards, like the spiritual advice is basically to have courage to let go. So yeah, and I was intuitively feeling that. Like for some of you, it might just be that you're guided to let go of this position, that you're going to be guided to let go of this gig. It just feels like constant conflict. And because the Empress over here, if she's a dominant, like if she's an authority in the place of work and not in the upright, it's just conflict. And then I would say actually just focus on yourself, and focus on your creative potential. Focus on what you can bring to the world, because I reckon that's going to bring you finances. Not, it's almost like you're working for this business, but this Empress who runs this business is not in the upright. She's not in her integrity, and so it's just fucking conflict and people fighting and blah blah blah, and you're there going like, is this really worth it, and blah blah blah. And the cards are kind of saying, no, you're worth it though. Your Queen of Pentacles, your fiery energy, your creative inspiration is worth it. So you just need to have the courage to let go of this situation that you're in. Okay, Aries. Well done this week. So we're heading, can you believe it? We're heading into the last week of May now. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards for our Tauruses. Taurus, divine guidance, loving clarity for the Taurus energy. Taurus, you have this King of Cups followed up by Temperance reverse and the Tower. There is success card. There is success with the Tower. There's a Knight of Cups coming in with a cup. Do you know what this is feeling like? This feels like a romance. It does. It's nice energy. And yet for some of you, I'm feeling that it's like that whirlwind, like you get so swept up in the hot love. You get so ooey gooey in this love affair that you kind of are thrown off balance, and it leads to a Tower moment, possibly in your creative life, and yet and then yet the flip is that it all ends up in your favor. So just be aware of taking care of yourself and actually having this Tower moment come down. Isn't it peculiar, a reading like this where I'm just like, it's all okay, you know, it's all upright, there's success on the cards. Temperance is in the reverse here, Taurus, so yes, if Temperance is in reverse, I immediately want to say, like, make sure you're looking after yourself. And then the Tower here, I mean, normally normally the tower is sort of like an unavoidable thing. So I'm like, look after yourself. I'm not sure that looking after yourself is going to necessarily prevent the tower from coming down, though. However, if you are falling in love and that resonates, just make sure that you're also taking care of yourself and you're not just getting completely swept up in the love affair. Because there's a lot of love. There's a lot of kind of sexy energy feels. Ugh. I gotta say that tower moment feels pretty heavy, though. And as the towers do, it may be coming out of nowhere. Like, you might be off, ooh la la, falling in love, and then some cray message or something happens in your working life, like literally, like, and I'm not wanting to instill fear, but a shop where you exhibit your art has a fire, or something affecting your working life, and yet somehow it brings you recognition. So again, there's no fear here, but the tower moment would say there's some shit that's going to go down that's out of your control that may be a bit shocking initially, and yet it is bringing in this success energy. It's like that expression. Maybe, is it even an expression? I don't know. But like, any news is good news. Like, when it comes to the world of a celebrity and that kind of success, that anything printed in the paper is recognition, right? So whether it's positive or negative, it's still press. It's still promotional in that regard. So it could be something like that as well. Okay, I'm moving on now from the Taurus energy. Let's move over into the Gemini. Gemini! I want to say happy birthday, Gemini. Happy birthday, Gemini. Gemini, this is nice. You've got a luck card. Ooh, that tower wants to come out. I put it like back thinking I just pulled it from the other one, and then it's there on the bottom of the deck. Gemini, there's a devil here, there's a star here, there's a tower here, there's a lot of major arcana. We are now transiting the nodal axis of North Node Gemini, South Node Sagittarius. So on a collective level, the entire collective consciousness is moving into a greater awareness, I suppose, or a greater capacity to be more like the Gemini energy, which is critical thinking. I sort of think to critical thinking. I think of being able to see from lots of different perspectives. Ultimately, as well, like, that ability to see from other people's perspectives is like empathy. To be able to, like, imagine walking in someone else's shoes, right? That is part of empathy. So for some of you as well, I'm getting that 9 of Cups has to do with your own growth in compassion and empathy, and possibly a little bit of like a psychic awareness. I'm getting next to the star card. It's like you've worked on your emotional awareness, right? And you're proud of that, and you believe in yourself, and you should, because the star card is here. Then the star card is coming through as the liberator from the devil energy, and ultimately the tower coming down. So you believing in yourself and believing in your dreams and essentially letting everything else fall away is your freedom. This really powerful, Gemini. So it's like, I'm getting a sense for this week, it's like you're kind of already reaching into that emotional stability. And that emotional stability is in helping you to visualize and stay focused on your dreams and your, and your star power. And then maybe, and see, that makes me think that it might not even be directly to do with your tower, but somebody in your field, there's a tower that comes down, and still that liberates you. liberates possibly both of you, but that could be a living situation, like suddenly a landlord is like, oh, you can't live here anymore. And even though that's, but then because the devil's in reverse here, I would say it's going to liberate you. So somehow, even though it looks like the tower's coming down, you're going to get lucky, basically. Gemini, good reading. Happy birthday to, oh yeah, oh lovers. I guess in the weekly tarot, I don't need to say that, because then I'll just be saying happy birthday to you guys, like, for the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's alright, isn't it? Cancer. Alright, let's get into the Cancer reading this week. Cancer, divine guidance, loving clarity. You know, Cancer, I feel this as, I feel like some of you have been stuck for a while. You feel like you've been stuck for a while. Some of you are definitely dealing with an abusive situation. Possibly this Queen of Pentacle and or Magician, but I feel like they're like it's one person. So the Queen of Pentacle exhibits this maybe magic, like, it's like that situation of like, oh yes, I'm a witch and I have all these powers, okay, and how do you use those powers? And especially with Queen of Pentacle, like, this is almost like a covert narcissistic situation. I think you're starting to suss it out. You've been stuck for a while, Cancer, and I sense that you're beginning to get wise. I think you're starting to wisen up to this energy. So this Queen of Pentacle basically probably comes across as a really mothering, nurturing, loving character, and yet this person abuses their power, absolutely, because they're in the reverse, and they're next to the Magician reverse. With the Hangman there, it makes me think they put spells on people. They entrap people. They make people think they're something they're not. And then Magician reverse makes me think they're in the back, you know, with their cauldron. They're conjuring, and there again, we can create the image, and yet all the truth. I mean, what psychic attack or any of that kind of voodoo shit is just somebody thinking really negative about you, lying to your face. Oh yeah, honey, great job. I really appreciate you here, and then behind your back, they blah blah whatever. So if you've been feeling stuck and you're in this situation that you're just like, I can't suss it out, but they're such a nice person. This is part of our ability to get connected, you know, be intuitive. We make excuses for ourselves and one another so quickly rather than really listening to intuition. If you've been in the Hanged Man, you know, wanting to move forward and you're going around in circles, this Queen of Pentacles is not helping at all. Now, Cancer, there's this Knight of Pentacle coming in. This feels like a substantial offer for you. It could be a new work opportunity. I would go with that, because this Queen of Pentacle is not. That's an Earth sign, in case you're wondering, in case you're curious. But with it being next to the Magician, this person could exhibit any of the signs. Ultimately, they could be very well-rounded. Again, they could come across as somebody really nurturing and well-rounded, and which is why you've been in this stagnant energy for so long. And yet, especially if you're guided to this reading and it's hardcore resonating with you, this is part of it. It's really hard to suss out covert narcissism, because they're so nice, and they're usually fairly like dynamic people in their communities, as in everybody loves them, or like, you know, especially people that are just on the outside of the family, or like friends of friends. Oh, but they're so lovely and blah blah, and they did this, and like they go out of their way to be super super nice to people, but it's all a game to make sure like as many people as possible, you know, it's all this fucked up shit. So if you've been stagnant and you're guided to this message and it's resonating, just step away. You're definitely dealing with somebody who abuses their power. This would be a boss. This would be a matriarch. Somebody fairly relevant in their, either in their family, like the mother or something, or the grandmother, or the boss of the the business, who knows everyone in the village or knows everyone in the town, or the wife of the mayor, like whatever. And it's all really nice, but your hanged man, classic thing, like they could be jealous, they could feel threatened, they could feel any number of things, and you've been playing and you're starting to go, what the fuck is going on? Well, this isn't a healthy dynamic. However, if somebody else, if this Knight of Pentacle come in for you, I'd go in that direction and jump over this Queen of Pentacle Magician energy. All right, my Cancers, there's your reading. Hello. Leo. My lovely fire, my lovely fire Leos. Leo, I feel like this is a substantial shift for a lot of you guys. As in, there's going to be some significant veils being lifted. Ooh, that Knight of Pentacle want to come in. Knight of Pentacle reverse. Yeah. Well, and that would make sense. And then you do have some new love or some new positive emotional messages. There's definitely some positive. You've had maybe some bad luck. Sorry to say, I don't know why I'm laughing. I think it's because, myself included, it's when I say like you've had a bit of bad luck, I'm just like, just constant rammings up the arsehole kind of thing. So it's almost just like, bring it. What else you got, right? So 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups reversed. This is like, there is some good stuff coming in after a period of bullshit. You've undergone some loss here, Leo. And the Knight of Cups reverse, rather Knight of Pentacle. I feel like you've been through some pretty substantial heartache and losses, and this Knight of Pentacle, it's in the reverse though. And I feel like you're still processing and grieving. I don't think you're available for this offer, and I don't necessarily think the cards are saying you should take it anyway because they're in the reverse. So I think it's best for you to, like, in regards to the cards, I reckon it's best for you just to like process, heal, and then trust, because there is this Page of Cups, which means there is a message of love coming in, and then there's the Chariot over there. So I'm like, you're gonna be moving forward in no time. The love connection's gonna return. Just not, in probably this second, because there's a bit of grieving going on. There's a bit of heartache healing going on. And you'll know when you get the call. Like, you will know when it's time to move forward. And, I think it's about moving forward for yourself. And eventually that Page of Cups, there will be this sort of fulfilling message coming in. This sense of like, yes, okay, I finally got over the worst of it, and then you'll start looking up again. You'll start looking up and you'll start feeling really empowered and really guided on your journey. Yeah, for sure. There you go, Leo. I'll be doing our monthly readings, by the way, this week, so just keep an eye out for that playlist. Okay, let's move into my Virgos. I've got Virgo moon. I get the Virgo vibrashe. Super tidy and clean and stuff. Not that that's all Virgo, but Virgo tend to be fairly systematic and kind of organized. Right. And you guys know the score. That's why I just put these as weekly readings. I'm not too fussed about the actual date or the actual time, and I personally resonate with readers who do that. So it's like, regardless of the timestamp, it's like whenever we're guided to certain videos or channels, that's like what we're meant to be guided to in that moment. So it doesn't really matter if it was, June or May. It's this now moment. And if you're engaging in the information now and it's resonating, then we're good. Interesting. Virgo. Virgo, there's definitely something going on here that needs your strength. Do you know my first instinct is that I feel like we're in one of these situations where a kid is having to get kicked out of the house. And Page of Wands reverse. This right away, Virgo, for some of you, it feels like a child. However, if I say child, that could be a teenager. So that could be a kid that's of a certain age. Now, it's pretty heartachy. That's why I think it's a kid. It's one of your children. But they're they're breaking your heart. I don't think it's working with them. Like, maybe they're drinking. Yeah, this feels like a pretty clear message, really. Like, I feel like maybe there's some people celebrating and partying in your house, or maybe just not respecting you the way you know you deserve, because you're coming up here with Queen of Swords energy. You're having to really embody this, like, no. And then with the Page of Wands and the heartache reverse, which makes me think it's not like being madly in love with somebody who you just found out was shagging someone else, right? This is like heartache reverse. So this is like, well, just the way I'm interpreting it anyway, it's not that. It's more the reversal of like a child, like, because the way I interpret that, it is a different kind of energy when a parent has to kind of kick a kid out of the house. There's a responsibility as a child's parent. If a child's still living under your roof, acting like a twat, you know, oftentimes the parent has to realize that they're enabling that behavior by giving them a place to stay and letting them run the house, right? Letting them run the show. So the Queen of Swords over here is saying, you gotta go. And it's breaking your heart, and it needs your strength. Let's just get a clarifying Osho card. Yeah, this is a tricky situation for you, Virgo. I feel like this disruption, this message or this page that's kind of disrupting things, is forcing you to put things on hold in your life. And I don't think that's good for you. Like, I think you're starting to realize, like, man, I just got to live my life. I've got to stop pandering to these people who are using my house as a fucking drinking dance floor and then having no respect, kind of thing. And then I think there's this tactic with this page where, like, well, so-and-so's parents are blah blah. Like, I feel like this page is manipulating you, basically. You know, and I just feel like there's this growing sense of, like, oh, fuck her. Like, get out of my house, you know? Because they're reverse. They're deceptive. And they're aware of it. They are aware. The comparison is a tactic to make you cave, to make you keep them living there. So the longer they're there, the more your own dreams are being postponed. When you cut them out and say, you're 18 years old, you can go find a fucking job and find another place to live, because I'm not going to feed your bullshit behavior no more. Boom. How dare you, mother or father, you know? You just wisen up. Stop putting up with their shit, basically. Yeah, they're taking advantage of your generosity. So you can pick and choose who you want to be generous with. But there again, if we're being generous to people who just take, we're enabling that kind of narcissistic, uncaring behavior. And so thus we become responsible, right? Because if somebody's not going to make the change, then, you know, and we recognize that, what are we there for? Okie dokie, heavy. All right, who's next? My Libra. Libra, 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 Libra lovers. My Libra lovers. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Libras. Finding balance. Finding love. Ooh. Libra. Libra's coming up as King of Swords. Inner work. Ooh. Ooh, new beginning. Money. Ooh, better. Yeah. Yes, that's Libra. You're gonna cut, or someone's getting cut. King of Swords, which is ultimately a Libran energy. Air sign. The king obviously is representative of the masculine. The Three of Wands. Fire is masculine energy as well. And the Ace of Pentacles. Do you know, this actually feels like some kind of like, almost like a little mini obstacle loop. Like, you're gonna have to suss out like a limiting belief around your, oh yeah, okay, so that's it. King of Swords, so Libra, you're gonna do a bit of a deep dive, like maybe a deep meditation, or do like guided meditation, some kind of inner work, inner journey, some kind of inner journey that you're gonna take and go on, and it's gonna help you see through some illusions. And the illusions obviously have to do with your own limiting beliefs. It's something that you don't, like, somehow that you don't believe in your masculine power. You don't believe in your decision-making capacity. And you're going to have to do a deep dive into your own, like, to trace out what that was, hence the moon card. This is going to bring new opportunities into your reality and much more balanced, harmonious, and abundant relationships. I feel like you could come into, so you might graduate and or suddenly have this new beginning in Pentacle, big new Pentacle, right? Which somehow puts you in a status where you have lots of money to give to people who need it. Because the Six of Pentacles is kind of showing that, based on the fact that you've been on an inner journey, that you've seen beyond the veil with the moon card, and then are presented, plus we're in this fucking divine timeline, right? So you're being presented with this shiny new pentacle. For what purpose? So you can just have it and hoard it? No, because you're graduating into this this is like a, like there would have been a time where, you know, the I don't want to say clergy, the church people would have gone around feeding people and giving people money and blah blah. But that doesn't, no, the church takes money. But this is an energy of you kind of going around giving money out, feeding the poor, supporting people in a state of balance and grace, ultimately. So that's pretty sweet. Amazing, Libra. Thank you. Okay, let's move on now. Scorpio. Let's see what's going on with the Scorpios. Divine guidance and loving clarity for my Scorpios. What was that card there? Some of you might be moving after some conflict. Oof. Scorpio, that feels like a pretty heavy shakeup there. To the point that you or someone else is moving. Interesting. And you have a happily ever after. You have the Ten of Cups coming out and a success card. Yeah, like conflict. This feels like a big shakeup. Big shakeup. Maybe you move. For some of you, Knight of Cups, although you could be the Knight of Cups, Scorpio, water sign, or it's another water sign. And in the reverse, though, you know, Scorpio, this is like a weird energy. So there's this feels like a memory. That, like, Knight of Cups, reversed. Walking away from happily ever after. Scorpio, I feel like you walked away from something that made you really happy. I feel like you're dreaming about having success again. It's Yeah, Scorpio, I'm sorry to if this is resonating with you. There's just a bit of confusion here, and like, yeah, this energy certainly does feel lost. And the walking away, Scorpio, this happily ever after, this scene for you was like an anchor. And you've maybe moved, or or you've maybe you thought you won a battle. Success is coming in. I gather here there is the success card. Okay. So this could be about, there could be a shift in perspective for you. You could have an experience where you begin to understand why you did what you did, or why someone else did what they did. And maybe one day again you'll believe in the happily ever after, Scorpio. Success is coming in for you. I just feel like you walked away, and maybe you're feeling just a little like, right now. But trust that a deeper understanding is coming in for you if you do the inner work. Okay, Scorpio. So, let's crack on with our Saggies. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Let me know. I know that we're now 36 minutes in. I know that some of you guys watched the whole all signs just because you resonate with, layers of the messaging. However, let me know, like, I'm about halfway through or so, and what I'm aware of is I'm so thankful for Andrew who does the timestamps. At the same time, I'm thinking, would you guys let me know if you'd prefer me to divvy these up? So would you want me to do, like, the fire signs? I can just do these in 4 different videos, right? Or the fixed sign, or whatever. So let me know if it would be better, even Andrew, who does our timestamps, let me know if it would be easier for you if I just did like 2 or 3 at a time, 3 or 4. If I did the elements, it would be like 4 or 5 at a time, wouldn't it? 3. 3 at a time. And then a fucus would jump into one. What would the fucus ones be? Is the focus like all 4? Anywho, Sagittarius. Saggy, you're finally laying down this burden and getting a bit of excitement back in your life, getting a bit of joy. I feel like you've really owned your power in as far as like your intuition, seeing beyond the veil, seeing like really getting connected to your like primal nature, seeing beyond the veil, and then rising your pinnacle, rising your, it might not be manifesting exactly right here now, as in suddenly you've got millions of pounds in your bank account. I feel like you're coming into your sovereignty. So it's likely that you're going to be manifesting some money here. And ultimately, part of the piece is letting go of the burden. Stop trying so hard. Stop carrying so much weight. There's almost a sense of like, hey, you're not going to be able to get on that horse. So say like then you have the Knight of Wands. It's going to be really hard to get on that horse and fly if you're carrying all these wands on your back, right? So I think part of your recognition, what you're coming into, is realizing like you can't carry the burden anymore. You're going to have to just drop it, go play, go have fun, and trust that the pentacles are coming in. Because that's pretty much what the message is saying. Like, the pentacles are here. You do know. The intuition is telling you what it's telling you. And yet, if you're going to still doubt, if you're still going to carry everybody else's burdens about how you're never going to make it, then you're not gonna. And yet I trust you, because like it's in the reverse. The ten of wands here is in the reverse. So that's saying like you are seeing beyond the veil. You are letting go. And then you'll get on that horse and you'll gallop right towards your abundant sovereignty. And that's Nine of Pentacles is a sovereignty card. So that's you making money yourself. That's you making money based on projects you've worked on or whatever you've been intending to create. That's the manifestation of that for yourself. You know, it's not the Ten of Cups, so it's not for your community and your money. It's just the money that you've made for you. Well done. Okay, let's crack on to Ophiuchus. Let's get into the Ophiuchus babies. Oh baby, Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, this is all about your intuition. You've got a Knight of Pentacles coming into here. That's an earth sign. Maybe somebody younger than you or somebody who, I feel like this is somebody attracted to your mind. High Priestess. Knight of Pentacles. So you're being very decisive about the journey forward. I feel like for some of you, you might want to go on a bit of a trip with this Knight of Pentacles based on your guys' mutual understanding and common perspective. This is a very funny energy, Ophiuchus, because for some of you, it just really does feel like there's a partnership coming together, this High Priestess and Knight of Pentacles. Some of you, you might be fairly young, and or it's just a brand new soul connection. This feels really sexy, I have to say. Like, it's kind of, because it's like, it's not the kings and queens. It's not nobility. This is energy of, like, you know, the maiden and the and I want to say the groundskeeper, you know, like getting together, like, but there's it yet again. These are still people, wonderful people, right? And I feel this movement forward of having this new beginning where it's like, do you want to go travel together? Do you want to go on a holiday together? Do you want to go do this thing together? And it's like, holla! And there's a lot of positive messages coming in around this connection. Because you're together, it's almost like this connection helps you both to see a new perspective. Ace of Swords. And then via that new perspective, it's like, yeah, let's book a ticket. Yeah, let's go travel. Let's and it could just be short distance travel. But it feels like some nice sexy times for the Ophiuchus. Yay. All right. That's my beautiful Ophiuchuses. Let's get into my Cappies. Capricorn. Divine guidance, loving clarity for the Capricorn energy. Ooh, I haven't even had that card the whole day yet. I've had about 3 private readings that I've done this morning as well. Ooh. Capricorn, okay. The Lovers card, the Ten of Wands. This is an ending. The Ten of Wands is an ending. There's a transformational cycle here, and it is coming to an end, and the birthing is a Lover's energy. So for some of you Capricorn, there's a sense of taking something to the next level, and that laying down the burden of the past. There's some kind of laying down the burden of fucking authority. Laying down the burden of what your external world is expecting of you. Even laying down the burden of what you once thought you were meant to be. Like, because the Hierophant is sort of like this important, there's an authority figure. There's like, you know, it's going to the priest to be wed. It's going to the doctor to be healed. It's going to this like high and mighty. And yet that's a burden at this point with your evolution. You know, ultimately you have your own keys. You don't need to go ask the Hierophant to take the key. You can just take the key. And I think you're starting to get tired of carrying the burden as well here, Cap. So the Lover's card I do interpret often as the unification of self. So it's like so much self-love that you become a balanced human. But because the Hierophant card is here as well, I actually feel like some of you might be coming into union with other, and then eventually this is a proper union, because the Hierophant would tell me that you might be getting married. You know, that, but that there again, we got to lay down the burden to actually enjoy the holy matrimony of union, right? To actually face our counterpart and express our love to them, right? This is a connection that you may have there may have been conflict in this connection, because we have the Five of Swords reverse. So this could have been a connection where there was like a mental, as in you didn't see eye to eye. You didn't see eye to eye at one point. I just feel the Hierophant there. I feel that for some of you Capricorns, it's just been like a long road, and this is weird. It's just this energy of, I feel like you're just suddenly going, whoa, what the fuck? Why did I do that? Or, shit, why did I give all that power to them and ignore them? And meanwhile, I've been carrying all this fucking shit. There again, I'd go easy on yourself, Capricorn, because you've had conflict in your life, right? Like this to me, yeah, you've been fighting your own battles, and or the person that you're thinking about, they've been fighting their own battles. And then with Hierophant there and the Lovers, I'm like, this is divine. It's a divine connection, but you've both had to go through all this stuff. Yeah, it's more about you being open to receive the love there, Capricorn. It's like you have to believe that you deserve it, and then deserve it, as in receive it, right? Beautiful. Thanks, Capricorn. Okay, let's move on to our Aquarius. I have Venus in Aquarius. And we know that the Venus retrograde cycle is on, and for like a while as well, so enjoy that, you guys. It's like it's like this sort of constant review energy of what is it that we really want, you know? What the heck? What is this whole love game? Justice for you. Aquarius, okay, the Justice card is here, and I'm looking at these cards being like, ooh, sorry, dudes. And yet, but it's the Justice. So it would appear to me that there was a new beginning that maybe was really exciting, and then quite quickly got a bit like unstable, or like, oh fuck, what's this? Oh shit. And I feel like you really took it upon yourself to like work hard at this, and like really like, this is gonna work and this is gonna happen, and then the Tower came down. However, the higher message is justice. So whatever lost, this could be a business, creative adventure, business idea, something you're possibly doing independently, and yet at the last hurdle, maybe you're getting people involved, or, you know, employing people even, and suddenly it goes bust. Which, in fairness, we're in that kind of energy right now, right? Where people are having to close their businesses and shut their doors and all that kind of stuff. So there could be that kind of energy, and yet the cards are still saying, just trust, this is justice. This is going to bring you justice. It just might be that you can't see it right this minute, Aquarius. Okay. So, where we be now? Pisces. Would that be our final sign already? Pisces. Did we start with Aries? Would you guys let me know if I didn't? Did I start with Gemini or Aries? I feel like I started with Aries, so yeah. Pisces, my Pisces lovers. Ooh, baby. You know, I'm gonna take another card. See if it comes out again. That one, that five of Swords. That just feels too. A lot of masculine energy here. It comes out again, and a bit of. King of Wands, upright. King of Cups, reversed. And the Coral card, that's 5 of Swords. I mean, this sort of just looks like some kind of mismatch energy, Pisces. Almost like one person wants to go one way, the other person wants to follow but doesn't have the energy to, and there's a bit of a, I don't even, you know what, this sort of feels like a passive energy as well. Like they're so non-confrontational that they're just gonna walk away before they even have to talk to you about anything. This King of Cups energy is like a disempowered, you know, king. Oh, so lovely, and yet, but they're not able to communicate their feelings. They're not, and so the King of Wands over there, that just feels like, I would say, just move how you want to move, do what you want to do. Don't wait around for this King of Cups, because I don't. Yeah, there, because there's another card there, 8 of Cups. That's another walking away card. I don't think this person's gonna step up. If you're resonating here, or if this is somebody where you're in a relationship with them, because it's 2 kings, right? Of course, we could interpret it as you choosing your fire and choosing to empower your kingdom in lieu of being, of believing in your disempoweredness, believing that you're not good enough in the disempowered king energy, right? That you can't move forward as the authentic being you are. I think you're going to walk away from that disempowered energy or that low-level belief system, and you're going to really start to empower your mysticism, your divine gifts. I feel like for some of you Pisces, you have these transformational abilities that you're going to start to bring online, and you should. People don't want to fight you here, Pisces. I feel like you're really coming into your own, because you don't need to compare yourself. People are seeing you in that regard as well. So this is the moment here, Pisces. This is the moment where you're going to be stepping into your dream. No longer looking at it from the outside. You're going to be stepping into the dream. Now that you've got a deeper understanding, make sure that you're getting enough rest. Make sure that you're doing all the self-care. You've been through it all, basically. You've been through the healing. You know how it works. You know the depth of healing. And now you're ready for the change, which is basically your dreams coming true. Dreams can come true. All right, that's your weekly readings, my lovers. Again, keep an eye out for the monthly readings, and I absolutely love it when you book your private tarot readings, online coaching. That's my book. You can buy the book from me or from Amazon. And merchandise. I've got a sweatshirt there hanging up. Anyway, you can check it all out on Ultra Love, you guys. I love you loads. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Peace out.